Welcome to Extra Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this, finally, is the CT4-V Blackwing. And the reason we're doing it now is because I lost the footage.
He lost the footage.
I lost all the
footage. 2 years ago, he lost the footage completely.
And we finally have managed to...
I think it's actually more of a boon than a curse, because now we've got all this extra combined knowledge of all the other cars. The new M2s come out.
Yep.
We've tried the RS3.
But more importantly than all of that, now it actually says Blackwing on the back.
It does say Blackwing, yeah. It's a Blackwing badge on the back. But we always said, how can you
And
possibly...
a black wing.
But it always had that.
Oh, that's right.
That's what we were being dumb about.
Right.
So here it is in the same blaze orange. You don't know that, though, that it was in 2 years ago before we lost the footage.
Before I lost the footage, yeah.
This one sits... Not that option. You can option this pretty high. It starts about 60 US and 69 Canadian.
It's a lot of money.
And then this one's optioned to about 75 Canadian, which it can go way up from there. You can do carbon fiber front splitters, bronze wheels.
Yeah. It's just
extra things.
It is a lot of money for the fact that it doesn't have a supercharged V8 in it. That's obviously more the CT5-V, but it also isn't a B58 or an S58 or an M motor that has, you know, the legendary BMW inline six. Those are really tempting cars for this price.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a sort of in-between, between the CLA 45, RS3 M2, but not quite M3 level. So it matches that in price.
But that's just because Cadillac did that on purpose. So like, oh no, it's not, there's no competitor.
Yeah,
you can't put it up against anything.
Platform 9 3/4 of
cars. Platform 9 3/4 of cars.
But the price, so for the price, you're getting a twin turbocharged V6, 3.6 litre V6, pretty significant displacement, putting out 472 horsepower, which is more than the new M2.
Yes.
Rear wheel drive only. You got a choice of manual and automatic with the 10-speed. Today we have the manual.
I would option this in a manual. There are actually a lot of cars nowadays that I wouldn't choose a manual.
Thomas called me and he's like, I shouldn't feel bad about this, but some cars are better in auto.
Yeah.
And that is true.
That is true.
Especially after we got out of the GT3 RS. I don't know if you've seen that video, but that was a hell of an auto.
Yeah.
This
is one of those cars that the manual pays dividends. It feels like a more exciting experience, feels more engaging.
And not just because it's the last of the last.
No.
Well, we have access to our track. Don't rub your hands. Don't do that.
I'm warming them up. Drift fingers. Let's go.
I'm your passenger then. Okay, so yeah, pretty base spec. First of all, the looks. We didn't talk about the looks. What's going on there?
Oh yeah, that's the whole point of that opening section, was to talk about the looks.
Yeah, not an M2.
We suck at this.
Done.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, on the track.
All right, pretty base spec. We haven't got the crazy performance seats. These are the base seats. We don't even have two-tone color in here. It's pretty, it's plain. We haven't got
quite plain.
We haven't got ventilated seats. We haven't got the climate package.
Right.
And still 75 grand.
If it wasn't for like the cool gauge cluster and some carbon fiber down here, you'd never know that you're in a $75,000 car.
Well, I think you've got the fancy steering wheel. That's the performance steering wheel.
Oh, right. I got the carbon fiber, the new marker, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, the first thing you notice about a Blackwing, I guess, or any performance GM product, is the ride.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Very much on a cloud.
Very much.
This is they took this to the next level with the C8 and this and the CT5-V.
Yeah.
Oh, it holds well.
Tons of grip.
You can feel the size though. You can feel the mass.
Let's talk about the engine. Okay. I mean, there's actually quite a lot to talk about here.
Yes.
CT5-V Blackwing gets a supercharged V8. You can't beat that.
You can't beat it.
You just can't. This turbocharged V6, at first, I wasn't really enamored with it, but the more you spend time with it, the more you actually kind of appreciate it.
I like it. It's very smooth.
It's very smooth. It's quite turbocharged.
Yeah, but I think it's got a naturally aspirated curve.
It does have a very, very linear curve. It builds right to the top. Start to push a little bit more here.
The gears are very, very tall. I noticed when I was driving this around the track.
That's a Blackwing thing.
Yeah. Because look, you're in second around here. This is normally third gear at this speed. In any other car.
Shifter's good, clutch is good.
Yes, the shifter is doing... God.
All the brakes. Good, they're good.
Yeah. The shifter and the clutch feel is exactly what BMW should be doing, at least the shifter. The shifts are purposeful.
Okay, I'll add one to that. The shifter feel, the clutch feel, and the steering feel are what BMW should be doing. Steering in this is just excellent. On the road, it's okay. Yeah. But when you're on here and you really load the tires up, it builds in weight so linearly.
Well, it's quite customizable. We've got the My modes.
Yes.
So we're in track mode.
I'm in V mode, and that's a custom mode.
But if you go to My mode, I'm just going to fiddle with your stuff there. So
yeah.
My mode. You can change steering, suspension, brake feel, engine sound.
Yeah, and the engine sound not only is piped-in engine sound, that adjusts the exhaust as well.
You can hear it.
So if I push V mode, everything is in the harshest setting right now, and then I have manually turned the traction control off.
Right. And it is quite different. It's quite jiggly, quite choppy.
Yes, but I mean, it's not that bad. So I've already done a hot lap in this, and I will, in a minute, tell you the time, and I'll show the footage as well. But while we're here, you always give me a hard time for the way I say that. Wow.
The biggest crime is the way you say plague.
Plague?
Yeah, you change it now.
Oh, track control's still on. Okay, all right, it's fine. We'll just go through there and we'll do that again. I'm gonna turn that off and turn that. Holding down. All right, it does. Wait, why is my gear now yellow?
You did a pee-pee.
I don't know what's happening. The problem with GM stuff is that it's usually a little bit too complicated. I don't need especially the Corvette. I don't need 4 traction control modes. No. I don't need it's just too much.
Sport 1, Sport 2.
Yeah, and then traction off, and that's all I really need.
Not really much for me to hold on to.
No.
Not that I require it. No, it feels good. The short wheelbase definitely makes it harder to drift than the CT4-V Blackwing.
It's okay.
I remember drifting that around here, and that was just easy. You know?
Well, yeah, I came around here in the Blackwing in 3rd gear.
The 5.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Oh, the Black. This is the Blackwing.
Oh, they're both Blackwing. Yeah. But the 5, I did that whole last corner. Actually, my second fastest lap, I'll show you this a little bit now before I actually show you the lap time. I did that final corner, and this was only a 10th or 2 slower than my fastest lap. I did that whole exit of that corner fully sideways. That's what the car wants to do. It really, really, really wants to lose the rear. A lot.
My favorite thing about this class of car is that it can be as fun on the track as on the road. And even now, this feels like a road car.
It feels like a road car,
The softness, the weight, the somewhat luxury that's going on. It feels so roadworthy, and it's so nice on the road.
It is, but it has old BMW vibes, in that it just wants to kill its rear tires.
Well, that's what the... You gotta do that with me in the car.
What's that? Oh, you're here. Oh, guy, I seriously love all Blackwings. The CT4, CT5, it doesn't matter.
It's really a very, very good car.
Did you see how much smoke just came out the back of our car?
We're gonna get in trouble.
Oh, God. They're seriously so fun, these things. Really, genuinely, this is what BMWs
Just admit you're falling out of love with your M2. Just admit it.
Okay, listen. I'm going to say a statement, and then I'll show the lap time, and it's a big one. If I can get one of these for equivalent M2 value prices, OG M2 value prices, in a year or 2, hand on heart, I will swap my M2 for one.
Big statement.
Big statement.
Let's check out this hot lap.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at the fastest lap of 3 hot laps that I'm allowed. Now, the CT4-V Blackwing was actually quite a handful. It's not exactly a light car, nor is it delicate in the way that it attacks corners. For track duty, I'd say the Blackwing needs a stickier tire, because I was sliding all over the place, under braking and on corner exit. It took a lot of throttle discipline to keep the rear planted, but that did make it fun. And when you get it right, quite quick. The shifter and steering are excellent, and there is tons of power to play with. Let's watch the rest of the lap.
So I don't know the lap time,
No, you don't know that. I've saved it. I've saved it.
And we recently, the last lap we set here, I don't know
Yeah.
when this is coming out, this video, but the last lap we set was an accurate Integra Type S.
What's that?
Which had a 1:13.55. It matched its Type R brother.
Yeah.
And it was so close. I mentioned that car because it was so close to the M2 competition.
I've forgotten the time. I'm just going to look it up again. You
Good.
keep talking to the audience.
Good.
This is a closed course. I'm allowed to do this.
So we're talking quite a bit more horsepower than the Acura, although the Acura is made for this track. So my guess is this is either low 113s or high 112s.
1:12:32.
Oh, I was wrong. Happily so. That's a great time.
That's a great time for
What
this
does that
car.
put it next to?
What does that put it next to? Do you not have your phone?
I do, yeah. Hang on.
We are so organized.
Hang on.
By the way, that rattling, just while James is, that you might hear, is this stupid GoPro right here. Not the car. The car's toy.
It is tight.
It is toy.
It's a great you know, I before I got in this car again today, I was like, oh, I remember the problem with this car is that the 5V Blackwing exists. And this actually has its own merits.
It really does.
It's just really cool that the 5V Blackwing exists.
Yes, exactly, yeah. I will say that the back seats in this are not really fit for human consumption.
Can you fit it back in the new M2?
Nope. So what's the difference?
All right,
These are better than the new M2.
112.32 has it just behind the Supra
Yeah,
and just in front of a Tesla Model S Plaid that without track mode.
without track mode.
And in front of the Ford Mustang GT with the PP2 package and way in front of the M2 Comp. So, very impressive.
Very, very impressive.
I mean, it puts
honestly.
out some serious power and it's got a fantastic chassis and it's GM. So,
Yeah.
will it be here in 10 years? We don't know. But that's their thing. Amazing chassis and
Chassis, steering. That's why you buy one. That's it, right there.
I don't even know if I'd take the B58 over this. I guess it would be S58.
You know what? Actually,
I'd take the S58.
The S58. Now that you're saying that though, the more time I spend with this engine, the more I really like it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, but the footage that I lost, we only had a very short go.
Yes, we've been
in
living with this now.
We've been living with this, and our impression was we just got into the CT4-V, and our impression was like, yeah, it's a supercharged V6.
5, yeah.
Right, but now it's just like I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. This is a very, very, very good car. Very good. Do we need to say any more than that?
Yeah, you want to buy it, so it's actually terrible and the values
Yeah,
are
the values
probably going to plummet. It's not necessary. It is not necessary!